Mitt Romney lost. I'm going to offer one reflection on the 2016 election and get it out of my system. Last night was an interesting opportunity to reflect. I put a lot of emotional energy into this campaign, and disappointment kinda stinks. I strongly supported Mitt Romney, based more on resume and background than on ideology. I thought he would be an amazing president. When he lost, it gave me a chance to think about how to react. A wise man once said, "This shall ye observe and make it your law to do your business by the voice of the people." Mosiah 29:6. Yesterday, the people spoke. The majority disagreed with me. The election is over. Let's get back to work. It is now time to refocus my energy and our collective political energy on making the world better. The most important place for my energy is my family, my job, my schooling, my home, and my role in the church. From a political standpoint, I am generally a centrist and a pragmatist. I am sure this will shock people on both sides of my friendship spectrum. But I believe that collective good comes from the middle of the political spectrum, when people of different interests come together for a greater good. Sadly, both major parties seem to be running from the center like a zombie apocalypse, which more and more people seem to be preparing for. The Democrats are doubling down on extremely liberal economic and social policies. The Republicans have an identity crisis, torn between Tea Party entrenched religionists and Ron Paul. I fear both extremes. I'm also disappointed with the reports of dishonest behavior from both parties and their supporters. From my observations, both sides did some pretty sketchy things to defraud voters in the voting process. My only vague comfort is that both sides were dishonest. In the end, I believe Barack Obama is an honest man who loves his country. I strongly disagree with many of his ideological foundations. But he is not evil. I think the healthcare bill was a mess, but I totally agree with the principle: get people covered. I think his administration mishandled the economic recovery and is pursuing unwise tax policies. I fundamentally believe that government wastes money, so I am reticent to send them more. And Obama is more than partially responsible for the gridlock in government. But he also has a huge burden to carry for 4 years. I hope that all parties can come together on these and other issues, meet in the middle and solve problems. I pray for that rather fervently. This morning, the Mormon half of my Facebook page lit up with this official statement from the LDS Church: "After a long campaign, this is now a time for Americans to come together." It is a long tradition among Latter-day Saints to pray for our national leaders in our personal prayers and in our congregations. We invite Americans everywhere, whatever their political persuasion, to pray for the President, for his administration and the new Congress as they lead us through difficult and turbulent times. May our national leaders reflect the best in wisdom and judgment as they fulfill the great trust afforded to them by the American people. We also commend Governor Romney for engaging at the highest level of our democratic process, which by its nature demands so much of those who offer themselves for public service. We wish him and his family every success in their future endeavors. End of quote. I believe that God has a hand in our lives and in this country. I know that he loveth his children, nevertheless I do not know the meaning of all things. 1 Nephi chapter 11 verse 17. Therefore I put my trust in God and men I believe to be prophets. And I pray to him for our collective well-being. I pray that we may work together and alleviate suffering, because there are many who are suffering. I pray that we may keep each other safe. I pray that the men and women entrusted with public responsibility will be honorable and unselfish in their roles. In the meantime, I will focus my energy on what is truly important and eternal: my family, my friends, my work, and my opportunities to serve. And I will keep improving myself through school and work. Let the political storms rage and hopefully fade away. It is in the quiet, small, simple things of life that I can really make a difference and make the world better. And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind rent the mountains and brake in pieces the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind, and after the wind an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake, and after the earthquake a fire. But the Lord was not in the fire, and after the fire a still small voice. 1 Kings chapter 19 verses 11 to 12.